Okay, guys, I want to show you this deck today. This deck, of course, is called Kor DragonFire. You can see it here at the top, Kor DragonFire. Now, with this deck, you'll notice that I'm going to use Nahiri, the Heir of Ancients here. This is a really good deck for this Planeswalker. What you kind of notice is that with Nahiri, you got this ability here called Blade of the Ancients. That's a really good ability. So every time you build a deck for a Planeswalker like Nahiri, if you see that they got an ability here that's like a game-ending ability because it's so strong, then you got to build your deck around it. You got to build your deck to maximize that ability, right? That advantage that you get. Now, I'll explain a little bit more. With Nahiri, Heir of Ancients, you'll see she's able to put down this token support here. This token support is called the Blade of Ancients. Alright, the big thing with that is here it says, at the beginning of combat on your turn, reinforce your first creature X times until the end of turn. X is the number of other creatures and other creature reinforcements that you control. So basically what you want to do is you want to play to this ability, try to build up your loyalty points until you can hit this thing. And what you want to do is have as many creatures as you can, or creature reinforcements as you can. And that's going to help you to buff your first creature up really, really big. Okay, so let's see what we're talking about here. Velomicus, this is a good card. It says here, when this creature attacks, pick one of the first 4 different spell cards from your library, fetch that spell card, and it gains X mana. X is the amount of damage here, right, that you can do. So it's going to be the power of this creature. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to buff it really big so that you can play a Conqueror's Pledge every single turn, right? So the idea is we're going to get this guy to have the power up to at least 12. Okay, if his power can be 12, every turn we'll hit a Conqueror's Pledge, right? So we'll attack, we'll pull the Conqueror's Pledge. That's going to be able to put down those core tokens. And, you know, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get as many creatures down as possible and as many creature reinforcements as possible. And the reason, again, is we want to hit this Blade of Ancients token here. And once we get the Blade of Ancients down, if we got a lot of those creature reinforcements, we're going to be able to reinforce our first creature a whole lot of times. And that's going to be that finishing move that we're always trying to go for. Okay? This deck, I kind of refer to it as, this Planeswalker I refer to as a countdown Planeswalker. Because really, if you build the deck correctly, you're gonna be able to win that game as soon as you hit that finishing move, right? So all you're really doing is you're setting up your cards in a way that it just becomes a countdown until you can launch that ability. And once that countdown is done, it's kind of like the time bomb hits 0 and boom, you're able to win, right? You're able to launch that finishing move. All right, so we're looking good. We got some Rem Corollas. This is a nice card here. It says here, while on the battlefield, your other creatures get prevent damage. So that's really, really good, especially with the Velomicus card. That Velomicus card is going to be able to have the ability to block opponent creatures, right? And, you know, normally if you block, you'll be taking some damage unless, of course, you have prevent damage here or maybe first strike, double strike, right? So it does help. Speaking of Velomicus, here we go. We're going to put him first because we need to make sure we get him down. And go with this. Oh, that's a nice cascade. Very good cascade. Very favorable there. Alright, so let's see what we can do. We're looking at playing the red gems, the white gems, and the black gems. As you can see here, will give us a little extra. Okay, so let's take a look. There we are. Oh, we got a nice, good cascade there. Very, very fortunate, folks. Okay, so we'll put Angel Fire Ignition on there. This is kind of important because it gives us 10. Alright, and as we get 10, we'll be able to attack this turn because we have haste. And then we'll draw a spell. That spell, of course, will be able to give us... We'll get 10 mana on that spell. Okay, we're making moves. This is going swimmingly. Alright. Let's play Conqueror's Pledge, please. Now, what you'll notice is that we have Conqueror's Pledge. We don't have enough mana to be able to play that whole thing. And, that's okay. What we'll do is we'll move them up. And if I'm not mistaken, we'll go with Blade of Ancients already. All right, we got some favorable cascades there. That certainly does help. All right, Conqueror's Pledge is out. It's going to play those core tokens that we want. It's going to ask us, I'm hoping, if we want to hit that kicker ability. We're going to say yes, because that's going to, right there, it's going to give us a lot more core tokens. And that's really what we want, right? I mentioned what we want is we want to have as many of these reinforcements on the battlefield as we can. Because when we're able to hit that Blade of the Ancients, right, ability, once we get that down, we're going to be able to do a ton of damage. So you'll see that here. We're putting down all these core tokens. Velomicus is going to attack. When he attacks, we're going to be able to reinforce him a whole lot of times. And as you can see right there, this game is over. Right? He's been reinforced a lot of times. As you can see, he's got 154 damage he's able to do. At this point, you don't even need to pick anything. This game is over. There you go, guys. Nice and quick, nice and fast. You can see how we're putting together this Nahiri deck, right? All we want to do is load up as many of those core creatures as possible, and then have one big creature at the end, right? And then you got that one, right? And that's basically all you need. Velomicus is the first one. You'll be able to reinforce him the load of times, and then of course this one is over. Okay, guys, that's basically how you build for Nahiri Heir of Ancients. Tons and tons of tokens, and hopefully one big creature that you're going to use to trigger. Okay, have a good one, guys. Good gaming to y'all.